Good evening from Scottish car enthusiasts. This is just a little taster of what's going to be coming up in the next day or so. So yeah, I fitted some lights today and a video will follow shortly, but I just thought I'd give you a wee taster. So these are the new bulbs I've fitted. They're Osram night breakers, so let's see if they're any good. That's sides. Right, start again. Right, put them onto auto. There's a wee bit of light there. And headlights. And dipped beam. Let's put them down to side lights. And we'll just get out the car and have a wee look. So these are the side lights on the car. They're Osram Ultralight or Ultralife. We'll now go and test the headlights. This is the headlights now, and they're Osram night breakers. They're a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Anyhow, this is just a wee taster for coming up during the week of some new lights I've fitted. Yeah, no more orange yellowy glow. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Good morning and welcome to another Scottish car enthusiasts on the driveway, and in today's episode I'm going to show you how to upgrade your side light bulbs and your headlight bulbs from standard. So it's fair to say that one of the biggest bugbears on the J10 Qashqai is the bulbs, is the headlight bulbs. Could compare them basically to candles is probably the best description on how you would describe the headlight bulbs on the Qashqai J10. So I've had a wee look about and I've got back to the I've got some H7 Osram night breakers. That's what I'm going to be operating the headlight bulbs with, and I'm also going to be operating the side lights with some Osram Ultralife. So without further ado, let's get working on the car. So the first bulb I'm going to be doing will be the side light bulb. So having a look at the lights here, at the very top, nearest the wing is your indicator. The side lights are just tucked in down here. This is your headlights and side lights, and this is your headlights, and this is your main beam. Here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the side lights. Well, that was pretty simple enough to take out. I don't think it's actually ever been inserted back in the car properly. So that was quite an easy one to take out. So just going to remove the light, and even the side light, I don't know if you can see that, some black coating around it. I think that's basically seen better days. Now the reason why I'm going with Osram is simply, I've had Osram bulbs before. I've actually got them in the Skoda, and they're the H4 bulbs, and I've always been impressed with them, and they were actually in my Yaris from about, which I had between 2011 and 2014. And I think I got the bulbs in about 2012, so and these bulbs are still going, the Osram night breakers in the Skoda. So I'm just going to simply buy on what I've had before, and because I'm quite happy with them, so I'm just going to change the side light bulb now. So that's a side light bulb in now. That's quite simple to replace. I'm now going to try and do the headlight bulb. So on this side there's plenty of access, but I'm not actually looking forward to doing the passenger side, so let's see how we get on with the driver's side first. Now to do driver's side, you're looking for a bit which contains this sort of rubber boot. So you take that off and then you'll be able to access the headlight unit. And that's the driver's side removed. It's actually quite interesting to note that the bulb I've just taken out is a Lucas bulb. So any other time I've taken bulbs out of the car, it's always sort of been like a Phillips. So I'm guessing this has maybe been replaced in the past. And one reason why I choose night breakers is simply because this one offers up to 150% more brightness. So that's one of the reasons why I went with that. And I've had bulbs in my Skoda now, just over 2 years now, the night breakers in there. And this is a bit right here. There we go. So as you can see, that's the standard Lucas bulb. This is a night breaker, which is a slightly bluer tint to it. So we're just going to put that one in. And a top tip when you're doing the bulbs is try and avoid touching the glass, because there's something on your skin which affects the lifetime of the bulb or something like that. So try and avoid touching the glass if you can. You can always just cover the glass with a wee bit of cloth while you're fitting it in. And the bit I always hate is trying to get the bulbs back in, so we're having a wee fiddle and see what happens. So that's the headlight bulb in now, so I'm just going to give it a quick check. I always do this just before I put like the boot back on, just make sure everything's working. Now the difference in the night breakers is a lot better than and the difference in the night breakers is they're a lot brighter than the standard Lucas bulb that's in here. So we're now going to go into the passenger side. Now the passenger side is a bit more difficult because we have the induction system here on the 1.6 engine. We've got the battery here as well. So the easiest solution, I think, to change the bulbs is to simply get a socket. So I'm going to get a 10mm socket and I'm going to remove the headlight. There's two bolts. One's a bit crusty, so there's a bolt here and there's a bolt up at the top near the wing, and there's a bolt sort of towards the grille. So we're going to try that. Now it's fair to say that manufacturers nowadays didn't really want you changing bulbs. They try to charge you a fortune. Now I remember going to on one of my previous cars, I think it was a C-Max, that I had to pay about £50 to get a bulb replaced because the only way you could do it was simply to Ford, basically, just to change a bulb, and it was like a headlight out job. It was a pain in the backside. So yeah, so not ideal. And this crusty bolt was proving a wee bit, let's just say, it's not the best bolt, so I'm going to see if I can get an extender bar for it, because I'm going to have to use an 11mm socket on this one. Okay, turns out I'm not a very tool worthy person. I don't care for my tools, I just chuck them back in the cupboard when I'm finished with them and hope for the best. And it can be said that I can never find what I'm looking for when I want to do these sort of jobs, so I've had to spend a couple minutes having a look for an extender bar. I've got this on 2 extender bars just so I can get an 11mm socket on, and in the process of that I found a gas key I was looking for the other night to bleed my radiators, so fantastic. But hopefully we can now get this off the car. There is movement. The bolt's that crusty here, show you this bolt. That is not exactly the most savoury of bolts. It's definitely seen better days. And now the motor. Let's see if we can use this for the car. Check if there's any more bolts in this car. I don't really want to remove the air intake system often, so we'll have another wee look. Tell you what, Nissan really know how to screw you about. I've taken 2 bolts off, as I said. Tried getting some leverage in there. I've got a big metal bar here. I've got the intake system here, and the light's still not budging. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to try and have to force the side light out just with a screwdriver. I can get to it, I'll pull the light, you know, forward a wee bit, but I need just something to give it that little bit of leverage. I said I wasn't good with my tools. I'm going to use this to try and give it a little bit of leverage to get out. Over. This is a pain in the arse. That side light's a pain in the backside. So I'm going to change the headlight. You know when you think about doing a job but you didn't want to do and you started it and then just regrets trying to complete it? This is one of them. I think you need the hands of a bairn. If you understand what a bairn is, a child, to get your hands down there to try and get any leverage on the bulbs. Unfortunately for me, I've got skinny arms, but a huge hand. Jeremy Beadle, where's Jeremy Beadle when you need him? Eventually got the headlight bulb. I can't remember, but the last bulb was a GE bulb, so it doesn't look as if they've been changed in pairs. I did wonder because one seemed brighter than the other, so it's always advisable, I would say, to change them in pairs, especially if you're going for night breakers. Don't buy a single night breaker, or don't buy a single bulb, just replace both of them. It'll save you long-term stress having to maybe replace it again, the second one, when it goes in a couple of months' time. Just replace them all at the same time. Let's see if we can get this in. And as I said before, just before you put the bulb back in, just make sure it works. And there you go. That's just the bulb just up on top of the headlight unit there, and it's working. So I am pleased with that. I'll just turn the ignition off again, lights and ignition off. And now it's time to fight the air intake, this metal bar, fuse box, the battery, to put the headlight bulb back in. Oh yeah! Yeah, that was me just swearing there, because that was a hot bulb. I'm always going to swear, but arse! Tell you what, I'm glad I didn't edit my own videos, because that would probably make a great outtake, but I'm not into that. I just like to keep the videos real, and if you make a mistake, you can join in the fun. 2 hours later, and we're still at it. Well, not 2 hours. It's like, don't know if you can see that. That's the metal bar beginning to cut into my hand now. And it's still not in. This is a bloody nightmare. I've now decided to take the air intake system off, so here we go again. I'll say one thing about taking the air intake system off. It does make access slightly more easier. 4 hours later, and the headlight bulb is finally in. Fan dabby dozy. Now it's time to try and tackle that side light bulb again. Yes, absolutely yes. Success. An absolute no when you lose the bulb. Again, this isn't the side light bulb on the passenger side, and this one's actually not too bad. It's probably newer than the driver's side, so here we go. Stick in the new passenger one. Make sure it works. it works, and we're now just going to go and